A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 294. In the previous episode, Han Li uncovered a rare ancient silver chain from the terrifying cadaver demon and successfully repaired its missing arm using his gold-devouring beetles. Further showcasing his remarkable skill, he then spent months strengthening his mystical creatures, overseeing the hatching of the deadly six-winged frost centipedes and carefully tending to the gold-devouring beetles' long evolution. Meanwhile, Han Li's attempts to revive the mysterious profound goddess Palm left him uncertain, hinting at challenges yet to come. At the end of the previous episode, he prepared for a journey to the far west, bringing along his faithful companion Silvermoon and the devoted Mew Peeling, while the news of his incredible power spread throughout the sects, elevating both his reputation and that of the Drifting Cloud sect. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. The heavenly South Continent's State of Dongyu is one of the few rare countries that didn't belong to any of the continent's four superpowers. This was not due to a lack of size, resources, or cultivation potential. In fact, Dongyu was among the top 10 most prosperous countries in the heavenly South, abundant in cultivator resources and spiritual medicines. Its independence, however, came from its unique geographical position. Surrounded closely by three of the four superpowers, the country was strategically neutral. Only the distant Nine Nations Union had little influence over it. Within the state of Dongyu, cultivator sects of all kinds existed: righteous Dao sects, devil Dao sects, and several smaller leisurely sects all flourished. But the dominant force preventing external domination came from the native sects. Sects that could not be subdued by any superpower. Their existence maintained a delicate balance. While the neighboring superpowers constantly schemed and tested Dongyu's limits, they ultimately reached a silent understanding: they would not interfere directly. Behind the scenes, each superpower provided covert support to these native sects, ensuring the balance of power and allowing the country to prosper as a neutral territory. In the northern Chang province of Dongyu lay a vast depression, covering nearly 2/3 of the region. Most of this land was dense forest, with a colossal mountain range at its center. Locals called it the Myriad Link Mountain Range. Whether it truly consisted of 10,000 peaks was uncertain, yet it teemed with demon beasts and rare medicinal herbs, attracting the attention of cultivators across the continent. Despite its resources, few dared enter, for the range concealed something far more dangerous. Known in whispers as the Devilfall Domain, the range contained the legendary Devilfall Valley. Over countless years, cultivators of extraordinary strength ventured into the valley seeking treasure, but few ever returned. Its fearsome reputation was matched by the deadly miasma that periodically swept across the mountains. This miasma was thick and toxic, as if born from a spell formation, blotting out the sun and making direction impossible to discern. Even the most skilled cultivators could not hunt demon beasts or gather herbs while it lingered. The miasma, however, was not permanent. Approximately every 50 years, it would thin, and the spatial tiers within Devilfall Valley would stabilize. During this brief opening, treasure hunters from across the heavenly south would flock to the mountains. Though the riches were immense, only a fraction of these cultivators would succeed in collecting anything valuable. Meanwhile, merchants backed by powerful clans would set up temporary market cities near the mountains, trading in spirit medicines and demon beasts for great profit. Recently, the miasma surrounding the Devilfall Domain had begun to dissipate, signaling the approach of a new opportunity. Compared to previous openings, far more cultivators had arrived, including a significant number of high-level practitioners. The local sects, alarmed at this influx, immediately restricted their disciples from venturing out and sent scouts to investigate the cause. What they discovered was extraordinary. On a small, nameless hill at the edge of Chang province, a male and female cultivator of core formation stood side by side. The man, dressed in dark blue robes, appeared scholarly, with a composed yet subtly anxious expression. The woman, clad in palace robes, had a striking figure, but her face seemed ordinary at first glance. Both waited expectantly, eyes flickering with nervous anticipation. Soon, a silver streak of light appeared in the distance, quickly flying toward them. As it drew near, The streak formed into the image of a man in embroidered scholarly robes. About 40 years of age. The woman's face lit up in joy. "Big brother, you've finally arrived. Did you manage to acquire the command medallion to enter the valley?" she asked eagerly. The scholarly man smiled, revealing 2 azure streaks of light from his hand, which became bronze command medallions etched with the word Devilfall in red on one side and gold on the other. The woman's excitement was palpable, while the man in blue robes frowned, studying the medallion with concern. "These small pendants cost over 30,000 spirit stones each," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief. "The 3 of them cost over 100,000 spirit stones. All the wealth we've gathered over hundreds of years. Was it truly worth it?" The scholarly man shook his head, calmly explaining the situation. The Ghost Spirit sect had originally intended to claim Devilfall Valley's treasures exclusively. However, due to pressure from other sects, they had been forced to compromise and allow select outsiders entry with the medallions. Obtaining even a single medallion was rare, and the fact that the 3 of them had acquired theirs was a stroke of fortune. The blue-robed cultivator remained uneasy. "However, can we truly trust their method to enter the valley?" he asked. "I've heard the spatial tiers inside are treacherous, capable of erasing all traces of those who enter. Even the Ghost Spirit sect elder barely survived. How can we be sure we'll return?" The scholarly man nodded knowingly. It is true that only the nascent soul of the Ghost Spirit sect elder returned. The valley's dangers are real, but the Ghost Spirit sect treats the Heavenly South cultivation world as enemies, if they were not confident. They would never risk this. Besides, careful navigation through the outer areas should be far safer than venturing into the valley's depths. We must seize this chance. Opportunities like this do not come every day. The woman agreed, stating that they had already reached the peak of their cultivation realm. Without such opportunities, they might perish in 200 years, leaving a lifetime of regret. Encouraged by the scholarly man's words, the blue-robed cultivator finally acquiesced. "Since Big Brother has said so, this little brother will follow him into the valley," he said with a bitter smile. Meanwhile, the rest of Chong province was also in motion. 6 months prior, rumors had spread that the Ghost Spirit sect had discovered a way to safely enter Devilfall Valley. In response, other righteous Dao and Heavenly Dao sects, still recovering from previous conflicts, sent envoys to verify the truth. Devil Dao sects did the same. Though enraged at first, the Ghost Spirit sect eventually had no choice but to admit the truth. Under intense scrutiny, they were forced to share a limited number of command medallions, allowing other sects to join them in the valley. Each medallion was sold at a high cost of spirit stones, ensuring that only select individuals or smaller sects could participate. To appease wandering cultivators, over 100 medallions were reserved for them and for a few minor sects. Now that the time was drawing near, the Chong province became incredibly lively. The vicinity of the Myriad Link Mountains became filled with cultivators from other countries, all hoping to enter Devilfall Valley in search of treasure. Needless to mention, they were all the cautious sort as well. In this episode, we saw the State of Dongyu, a rare neutral country in the Heavenly South continent, and the dangerous Devilfall Domain within the Myriad Link Mountains. We followed the preparations of several powerful cultivators as they obtained the valuable Devilfall Medallions, which would allow them to enter the perilous Devilfall Valley in search of ancient treasures and spiritual medicines. The episode also highlighted the tension between different sects, the deadly miasma surrounding the valley, and the rare opportunity that comes only once every 50 years for treasure hunters to venture inside. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of A Mortal's Journey to Immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications for the latest episodes in Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.